this is angle pairs practice. So the number one here says that angles 1 and 2 are supplementary angles. That means they add up to 180 degrees. If the measure of angle 1 is 4x and the measure of angle 2 is 8x, then find the measure of these angles. So we're going to have supplementary angles. So let's say 4x, and then it doesn't matter, we could have anywhere really. Okay, and that's going to be 8x. So they're supplementary if they add up to 180. So we're going to do 4x plus 8x equals 180. Combine like terms, that's 12x. And then we can divide by 12. So we get x equals 15. 12 goes into 120 10 times, and it goes into 65 times, so that's going to be 15. Then we can substitute it back in, so 4 times 15 is going to give us 60, and 8 times 15 is going to give us 30 times 4, that's 120. So the measures of these angles are going to be 60 degrees and 120 degrees, which add up to 180, so we know we got the answer right, 60 and 120. So that was 1. Whoops. That was 1. Now let's go to 2. So angle 3 and 4 are complementary. So complementary angles add up to, let's do it over here. Let's just delete it. Okay, 2. So complementary angles add up to 90. So if we have x and x plus 24, and they add up to a right angle, we're going to know that they're complementary angles. So we're going to get x plus 24 plus x equals 90. Okay, so that's 2x plus 24. Subtract 24. 2x is going to be 56. 66. We divide by 2. We get x equals 33. We can substitute that back in because we're finding the angle measures. So that's 33. And this is 33 plus 24, which is going to be 37, 47, 57. And we know 57 plus 33 is going to be 90. So we know they're complementary. So this is 33. And this is 57. Number 3, 2 lines intersect to form vertical angles. So here's 2 lines intersecting. Okay. And vertical angles are the opposite sides of our x. One vertical angle is 2x over 3. The other one is 90. Find the value of x. So they're vertical angles. We know vertical angles are congruent. So their angle measures are equal. So we can do 2x over 3 equals 90. We got to solve for x. So we multiply both sides by 3. So we get 2x equals 270. Then we divide by 2. And we get x equals 135. Number 4, 2 lines intersect to form angles. Okay, so we want to draw 2 lines intersecting. Okay, so here's 2 lines intersecting. If the 2 adjacent angles formed are 4x and 5x minus 27, then what is the measure of those angles? So it doesn't matter, we can put 4x wherever, but adjacent to it, we need to put 5x minus 27. Adjacent angles are angles that are right next to each other. Since we had 2 lines that intersected, our 2 adjacent angles are going to add up to 180 degrees. They're going to be supplementary. So we can do 4x plus 5x minus 27 equals 180. So 9x minus 27. Add 27 to both sides. 9x is going to equal 207, and then we can divide by 9. So that's going to go in twice, and you're going to have 17 left over, right? So 23. Okay, so the measure of those angles, so this one's going to be 23 degrees. This one over here is going to be 4 times 23 minus 20. So that's 112. Sorry, that's 92. Minus 20 is going to be 72. That's totally wrong. Let's just use a calculator. I'm very tired. 23. So this one's 23, and then 4 times 23. What? Oh, we're doing number 4. That's why. Right. So this is all for this one. So it's going to be 4 times 23, which is 92. Okay, and then we're going to have 5 times 23 minus 27. So that's going to be 115 minus 27. That's going to be 87, 88. Right. And then 88 plus 92 is going to give us 180. Okay. 5 times 23 minus 27. It's 88. Okay. So let's look at number 5 now. 2 angles form a linear pair. So 2 angles form a linear pair. So x and 4x minus 20. So linear pairs are supplementary and adjacent. So since they're supplementary, they add up to 180. So we can do 4x minus 20 plus x equals 180. So 5x minus 20. Add 20. We get 5x equals 200. And we divide by 5 and we get x equals 20. So we want to find our angles. So we're going to have 20 and 4 times 20. I'm sorry, 40. 40. So 40 and 4 times, that's 160, that's 140. This is why you should use the calculator and check your answers. Okay. Number 6. So number 6 here, we have a right angle. Let's draw it out. So we have angle LKM is a right angle. So here is L, K, and M. Point X is in the interior. Okay. If the measure of angle MKX is 4x minus 2, and the measure of angle XKL is 2x plus 20, and then find the measure of the angles that were created. So since we are adding up to a right angle, they're complementary, so we can do 2x plus 20 plus 4x minus 2 equals 90. So that's going to be 6x plus 18. subtract 18, we get 6x equals 72. We divide by 6. X is going to be equal to 12. We can plug that back in. 4 times 12 minus 2, and 2 times 12 plus 20. That's going to be 44. This is going to be 46. And those add up to 90, so we know we are right. 7, 8. Two angles are complementary. If one of the angles is x squared minus 16 and the other is 3x, then what is the measure of the angles? So if one angle, so if they're complementary, they add up to 90. So we can do x squared minus 16x plus 3x equals 90. We combine like terms, x squared minus 13x equals 90. We subtract 90 from both sides. So we get x squared minus 13x minus 90 equals 0. The reason we're setting it equal to 0 is because we have a square in there, we have a quadratic, so we're going to want to factor it. You can always use the quadratic formula, but let's see if we can't factor it. Right? If you aren't able to factor it, then you can just go ahead and use the quadratic formula. Okay, but here we have x and x. Again, if you guys use your x method, you need something that multiplies to negative 90 and adds to negative 13. So how about 18 and 5? So how about negative 18 and positive 5? So that leaves us with x minus 18 equals 0, and x plus 5 equals 0. So we add 18, we get x equals 18, minus 5, x equals minus 5. If you substitute back in, negative 5 times 3 is going to give us negative 15. We don't want the negative angles. We just want between 0 and 360. So we need to look at x equals 18. So let's plug it in. 18 squared minus 16 times 18. That's just going to be okay. And then 3 times 18 is our 1 over here. So let's try to think. That still seems like it would be high. It's telling us this is 36. Okay, I was thinking 17 plus 18. It really should have been 18 plus 18. Yeah, I'm sorry. Right, because this is 18 times 18. So it's 18 times. This is 18 16 times. So there were two 18s that we don't have accounted for. So it should have been 18 plus 18 is 36. I was thinking something else. I was thinking 18 times 18 plus 17 times 18, which was not there. Okay, and then this is 54. Okay, so then we know that's right because those add up to 90. Okay, the measure of angle, let's do the next one. So we're on 8. So the measure of angle CAT is 27 degrees. G is in the interior, so let's draw angle CAT. Here is C, here is A, here is T. G is in the interior. Okay, the measure of angle CAG is x squared. And the measure of angle GAT is 6x. Okay, and we know this whole thing here is 20, let's write it down here, 27. Okay. So our equation, we're just doing angle addition, x squared, the two parts, plus 6x equal the whole, which is 27. We can subtract 27 from both sides. And then we can factor again, because we have a quadratic. It's x squared. So we need something that's going to multiply to negative 27 and add to 6. How about 9 and 3? Negative 9 and a positive 9 and negative 3. It's going to multiply to negative 27 and add to positive 6. So then we get x plus 9 equals 0. And we get x minus 3 equals 0. Okay, so subtract 9, x equals negative 9. Add 3, x equals positive 3. The negative is not going to work, so we want to use the positive here. So 3 squared is going to give us 9. 6 times 3 is going to give us 18. So 18 plus 27. 18 plus 9 is 27. So we're good there. Let's look at number 9 through 14. So here we have a linear pair. So this is 180 minus 68, okay, which is going to be 132. This one is 180, it's a linear pair. So we're going to do 180 minus 51, which is going to give us 129. That's not right. This is 112. Here we have vertical angles, 131 and E, so we know this is 131. And then we have a linear pair, so we can do 180 minus 131, which is going to be 59, 49, 49. And then vertical, so that's going to be 49 as well. Over here we have complementary, so we can do 90 minus 67. It's a right, they add up to a right angle, so they add up to 90, which is 23. And then again, 90 minus 23, then is going to be 67. Here, all three of these are supplementary. They all add up to 180 degrees. So let's do 180 minus 122. Okay, that's going to give us 58. So you know these two added together need to be 58. We also know that they are equal, so we can do 58 divided by 2 gives us 29. So 29 plus 122 plus 29 is going to be 180 degrees. We knew they were equal because of these arcs. The arcs tell us that those two angles, angle T and angle U, are congruent. Since they're congruent, their angle measures are the same. And since we knew all three had to add up to 180, we knew these two had to add up to 58. Since they had to add up to 58 and be equal, we could divide by 2. These are linear, so this one's 91, 180 minus 89, and then this one is going to be 13. We don't know this yet, but a triangle, the three interior angles are going to add up to 180. So we don't need to worry about that for the test, but 180 minus 89 minus 13 is going to give us 78. Don't worry about that one though. Right here we have 180. It's a linear pair. So 180 minus 87 is going to give us 93. Okay, here these three are going to add up to 180. So we can do 180 minus 87 minus 34. So that's going to be 93, 89, 79, 69, 59. And then these are vertical, so hopefully 59 plus 34 is going to give us 93. And it should. It will. Yep. How are we doing on time? 19 minutes? Okay, 15, we want to draw a little picture, and then we want to add them together. Right, so 15, they're complementary, so that means they're going to add up to 90. So again, if you want a little picture, here's your two angles. Here's angle 1, here's angle 2. Complementary means they add up to 90, so 7x plus 4 plus 4x plus 9 equals 90. Combine like terms, solve for x, we get 11x plus 13 equals 90. Subtract 13. 11x equals 77, divide by 11, and we get x equals 7, and then we can plug that back in. So 7 times 7 is 49, plus 4 is 53. 7 times 4 is 28. 28 plus 9, or 28 plus 7 is, wait, what? Plus 9. That's why, okay. 28 plus 9 is 37. Thought we made another error. Okay, vertical angles here, so that's 15. So angle 1, angle 2 are vertical angles. So here's angle 1, here's angle 2. They're vertical angles. We know vertical angles are congruent, therefore we can set them equal to each other. So it's going to be 16x minus 9 equals 4x plus 3. Subtract 4x. 12x minus 9 equals 3. Add 9 to both sides. 12x equals 12, and then we can divide by 12. Substitute it back in. 16 minus 9 is 7. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7, and we know we have the right answer because they're both equal to each other. All right, let's go on to, we got to erase 17. So the supplementary angles are two or more angles that add up to 180 degrees. So we can imagine them as a linear pair. Okay, so 4x minus 5 plus x equals 180 degrees. That's 5x minus 5. So that's 5x equals 185. And we divide by 5 and we get x equals 37. And we can substitute that back in. 37 times 4. So 35 times 2 is 70. That's 140. Plus 8, that's 148. 148 minus 5 is 143. Okay, and that's 37. And we know 143 plus 37 is 180. So here we have complementary, 1 and 2. So here's 18, they're complementary. So again, they're going to add up to 90 degrees. They aren't each 90 degrees. They add up to 90 degrees. So 8x minus 6 plus 14x plus 8 equals 90. So we're going to get 22x plus 2. Subtract 2 from both sides. We get 22x equals 88. And then we divide by 22. And we get x equals 4. Substitute it back in. 8 times 4 is 32. 32 minus 6 is 26. 14 times 4, so that's 28 times 2. That's 60 minus 4 is 56. 54. Oh, plus 8. I'm sorry. 56 plus 8, which is 60. $56 plus 8 is 64, yes. Add those together and we get 90, so we know we have the right answer. Here we have vertical. So we know vertical angles are congruent. So here's vertical angles. So we know 5x is going to equal x plus 16. We can subtract x and then divide by 4. We get x equals 4. We substitute it back in. That's going to be 20. That's going to be 20. We know we're right because u20 equals 20. Let's do 21 and 20, 20 and 21. Okay. So they form a linear pair. We know linear pairs are adjacent and supplementary. So here's 1 and 2, angle 1 and angle 2. So we know what the measure of angle 1 and the measure of angle 2 are going to add up to 180 degrees. So we can do 7x plus 10 plus 3x equals 180. So 10x plus 10 is 180. Subtract 10. 10x equals 170, and then we divide by 10, and we get x equals 17. Then we can substitute that back in. So 3 times 17, 34, 41, 51. 7 times 17, I don't know. $119. $119 or $129? Oh, plus 10. So 119 plus 10 is 128. Angle 1 and 2 form a right angle, so let's change colors. Angle 1 and angle 2 form a right angle, so that means they're complementary. They're going to add up to 90, so we can do 4x plus 3 plus x minus 8 equals 90. Combine like terms, that's 5x minus 5 equals 90. Add 5 to both sides, we get 5x equals 95. Then we can divide by 5, we get x equals 19. Substitute it back in. 4 times 19 is 76, plus 3 is 79. And then 19 minus 8 is 11. So those again add up to 90, so we know we have the right answer. Okay. So you're just required to do 22 and 23. You don't need to do 22, 4 through 27. We're just going to go through them all anyways. So let's delete. So 22. So an angle is 40 more than its complement. So this is an angle. It's called x. Here's the complement of that angle. Complementary angle. It's going to be x plus 40. Well, okay. An angle, that's whatever. Same thing. One of the angles is x, one of the angles is x plus 40. One angle is 40 more than the other one. Okay. These are both complementary angles. This is a complement to that angle. Let's just write angle and angle. So angle and angle. Okay, we know those angles are complementary, so we know they add up to 90. So we're going to do x plus 40 equals 90. So that's 2x plus 40 equals 90. We subtract 40. Subtract 40, we get 2x equals 50. Divide by 2, and x equals 25. So that means our angles are going to be 25 and 25 plus 40, which is 35, 45, 55, 65. Okay, so the measure of one angle is 3 times its complement, so that's going to be x and 3x. So we can complement means that they're going to add up to 90. So we would do x plus 3x equals 90, which is 4x. We divide by 4, so we get x equals 45 over 2. Right, so what's 45 over 2? 22.5. So this one is 22.5. This one is 67.5. And look at that, they add up to 90 degrees. Okay. The measure of the supplement of an angle is 30 more than twice the measure of the angle. So again, we're going to have x, and then we have 30 more than twice. So twice the angle, 30 more than twice. The measure of the supplement of an angle is 30 more than twice the measure of the angle. So 30 more than twice the measure of the angle. So they're supplementary, so they add up to 180. So x plus 2x plus 30 equals 180. So that's going to be 3x plus 30. Subtract 30. 3x equals 150. Divide by 3, divide by 3. 3 goes in 15 5 times, so that's going to be 50. Okay, so our angles here are going to be 50 and 130. Okay, 2 times 50 is 100. 100 plus 30 is 130. Okay, the next one here. angle is 65 less than a supplement. So again, that's going to be x, and then x minus 65. So you're going to end up with 2x minus 65 equals 180. So you're going to end up with 2x equals plus 65 to both sides. That's going to be 245. You divide by 2. X is going to be 122.5. So 122.5. And then minus 65, that's going to be 57.5. Yes, and it matches up here, so it is 57.5. Okay, so let me quickly, we'll do the last two, 26, 27 here. So the measure of an angle is 8 times the measure of its supplement. So again, this is going to be 8 and 8x. X and 8x, so x plus 8x equals 180. So 9x is 180. So x is going to be 20. Okay, so 20 and 160. That add up to 180, so we know we're good. The difference in the measure of two supplementary angles is 38. That's interesting. So this is a better problem. So the difference between the two is 38. So we'll say one is x, one is y. So x minus y is 38. We also know they're supplementary, so we know x plus y is 180. That's not going to make sense, is it? The difference in the measure of the two supplementary angles is 38. If we added, okay, it'd be 2x, yeah. So if we add these together, we get 2x, 218. Then we can divide by 2. So we get x equals 109. Then we can plug it into the other one. So 109 minus, or plus y equals 180. Subtract 109, we get y equals 71. So we get x's, right? The difference between them is 38, and they both add up to 180. So this one was a little more complicated. You need two equations. The difference between them was x. So our two angles were x and y. X minus y is 38. And then we know they're supplementary, so we know x plus y is 180. Add those two together, we get 2x equals 218. Divided by 2, x is 109. Substitute it back in. This one had a positive y, so I chose the second equation. So 109 plus y equals 180. Subtract 109 from both sides, 71. They add up to 180, and the difference between them is 38. Again, don't focus too much on that one. Kind of went through it fast, but that's okay. 28 through 33. What are we at? 33 minutes? I guess we'll do them all. You don't really need to do all these because they're all the same. It's the same process for each one. But let's look at the first one here. They're giving us, so the problem here is we have two different variables. So let's look at the two x's first. If we can make an equation to solve for x, that would be what we need to do. So we can. These are a linear pair, so we can do 25x plus 8 plus 9x plus 2 equals 180. It's a linear pair. Linear pairs are supplementary. So we have 34x plus 7 is 180. We can subtract 7. We get 34x equals 173. Divide by 34. I'm sorry, this is 8. So this is 10. So we subtract 10 from both sides and we get 34x equals 170. That makes more sense. let's see here. 68. So 138. So that's going to be 5. Right? $47 and 125 plus 8 is 133. Then we know these two are vertical, and since we know that's 47, we know 7y plus 5 is going to equal 47. So we can subtract 5 from both sides, and we get 7y equals 42. Divide by 7, and we get y equals 6. Plug it back in just to check. That's 42 plus 5 is 47. Okay. We could have also done 7y plus 5 plus 133 equals 180. That would have worked as well. So this is 28. Let's do 29. So here, again, we want to pick the common variable because we don't want two variables in one equation. So 24x minus 23 plus 12x minus 13 equals 180. They're a linear pair. So that's 36x minus 36 equals 180. Add 36. 36x equals 216. Not 2,116, but 216. Divide by 36. So 18 goes. So that's 5, 6, right? I believe it's 6. Yep. Okay, we can substitute it back in. 24 times 6, so that's going to be 144. Minus 23, I'm sorry. So 41, so 121. Okay, and then just to check, let's plug it in here. That's going to be 72 minus 13, which is 59. So we're good. Okay, so if that's 121, this is 121. So we know 11y equals 121, and then we can divide by 11, and then therefore y is going to be 11. So x is 6 and y is 11. Okay. Let's do 30. So same thing, 180. So 16x minus 18 plus 10x plus 3 equals 180. So that's going to be 26x minus 15 is 180. Add 15 both sides, so we get 26x is 195. Which looks like we're going to get a fraction. Okay. So 195 divided by 26 is 7.5. So plug that back in. 16 times 7.5 minus 18 is going to give us 102. 10 times 7.5 is 75. So 78. So 12y is going to equal 102 because they're vertical, and these are vertical angles. Divided by 12, divided by 12, that does not go in evenly, so that's 51 over 6, which is 8.5. Guess I'll keep going, I'll just do them all. So here's 8x minus 5 plus 10x plus 14 equals 180. So that's 18x plus 9 is 180. So that's 18x equals 171. Divided by 18, that's going to give us x equals 9.5. So we can plug that back in, times 8 minus 5, 71. So that means this 20y plus 1 equals 71. So 20y is going to equal 70. So y is going to equal 3.5. Let's just plug back in just to make sure. So 10 times 9.5 plus 14. Yep, 109. Then 3.5 times 20 plus 1 is 71. Okay, I got two more. Okay. So here, again, we want to look for the same variables. So these are going to be our x's. So we can do 9x minus 2 equals 5x plus 14 because they're vertical. And our y's are also vertical, so we can do 9y minus 7 equals 6y plus 44. So that's going to be 4x equals 16. So x is going to be 4. We can plug it back in. 36 minus 2 is 34. 20 plus 14 is 34. Okay, here we're going to get 3y equals 51. We divide by 3. We're going to get x equals 17. 17 times 9 minus 7. Let's just do the calculator. It's going to give us 146, which looks like a great answer. 6 times 17 plus 44, 146, 180, 180, 180, 180, 34 and 34, 146 and 146. Vertical angles are congruent. Linear pairs are supplementary, add up 20. Let's do the last one then. So again, 7x, so this is going to be 33. So 7x plus 30 equals 11x minus 24. So that's going to be 4x, 54. That's going to be 13 and a half. What did I write? This is 54. Right, 13 and a half. Let's plug it in and make sure. 7 times 13.5 plus 30. 124.5. 11 times 13.5 minus 24. So 124.5. Okay, and then we can do 5y plus 38 equals 17y minus 4. So that's going to be 42 is 12y. So that's going to be 3.5. So let's plug 3.5 in. So 5 times 3.5 plus 38, 55.5. That looks good. And then 17 times 3.5 minus 4 is 55.5. That looks good as well. Okay, and then these were the answers for 32 and these were for 33. Okay, so that's angle pairs practice, 43 minutes again. A lot of it was repetitive, but covers all the angle pair stuff.